stability. I mean, in the intersections, as you come into the intersections, you have a hard braking in your radiuses of the turns. You'll start to see running with FJ.
There's only one and two intersections.
Yeah, and like Frank just said about the dense graded mixture, you're better off with a dense graded mix.
All right.
Something better than the old ID2 was ID3. That's why
skid resistance too. I think you have to get it be slippery. It's all sand.
Yeah, right.
It'll be slippery.
The only thing you have to worry about placing material at 5 inches is the thing bridging up on you. That you're able to compact that thing the full depth of the lip.
Well, I just brought it up because we used to be made to have to put that down as a seal.
I don't think you get much of a compaction. You're talking basically about aggregate with liquid, more or less sand. So there's not a whole lot of compaction, I think, in the process. I mean, you put a heavy enough roller over static and I think you would be sufficient. I don't think you want to be beating this because you're just going to push it out for the edges. You just push out all your edges.
One of the key to using the FE pavement is using a rubber tire roller to break it down behind the pavement. So there's the same principles involved in hot mix also apply to warm mix pavements. Compaction is a factor of performance of the mixture. So there's just different techniques how you go about going to achieve that compaction in the field. So what you want to try to do is replicate in the field what you're able to achieve in the laboratory. So the laboratory density is the standard by which you control your compaction in the field. So one of the things you do in order to achieve that is you use rubber tire rollers and then you use a breakdown roller right behind that to break it down and then a static finish on it. So, but they'll do that in the field, they'll establish a rolling pattern out in the field with FE pavement. FE pavement is treated similarly to a recycled base course pavement. You have to establish a rolling pattern in the field and then you check that from time to time with a nuclear gauge and maintain that rolling pattern throughout the course of the job. And if conditions change, of course you have to check your rolling pattern. So.
Wait, Joe, remember that years ago we used to have a spec of 6-inch BCBC and they used to roll that in some, I can't disagree with Frank.
Well, they work concrete highways on a lot of that today. It's similar mix. It's called asphalt treated permeable base, which is liquid and stone. And they'll pour 10, 12 inches of concrete on the highways. That's a typical spec for probably the last 10, 12 years I know around this area.
You know, one other thing I'd like the board to do tonight, and Dawn would actually have to do it for us, is we brought up the subject of this intersection being closed up here. So that means Rising Road, no matter how you access it through the other end or King Road or Grange, it's going to get used a lot more. The section between like King Road down to where that bridge repair was, there's some really bad sections there. Now I know it's the state. I'm saying, do we write a letter to the state informing them that they really need to get on that?
See the guy girl bent over and tell the roadways to
it's
get
going over
Yeah.
the hillside, exactly.
Yeah. You're going to have slides.
We're trying to push the state to make sure they put that on their road repairs. Is there anything we can do to try to help push them on and make them aware that this is going to be a year when you're going to need that repaired better, because the traffic's going to be a lot more heavy on Rising.
Yeah, I agree with Andy. We need to raise the flag on that one because it's only going to get worse. And with all that additional traffic, that's all we need is to have Rising down the one lane in one section or something like that. It needs to be addressed.
Okay, nevertheless, we said that we don't compromise, so we good on King Road on that.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Well, we good on that.
No, I have another question. What's the paved width going to be, and what are we going to do about the trees that are almost in the middle of the road?
It would be like California with the railroad kind of circles.
Joe, can you bring your width on there?
I think it's going to add, I think I had 16 and a half to 17 feet.
Spot I measured it was 13. It's variable width. The spot I measured it was 13 to 13 and a half. That was the upper end near Profia.
That's an average.
That was really narrow.
Yeah, that was up near Profia when you first come off with it. Yeah.
All right. Answer your question?
No. I just want to know what we're going to do about it. You answered the question how wide it is, but there are some areas there that seem to me to be very narrow.
Let's look at it and try to address some widening areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to hold 17 to 17 and a half feet through the pavement section. Where we can get more wider if there's room available. Sometimes you just don't
There
have.
are trees there.
Yeah, those trees, we'll have to take a look at the trees that we have. there's a couple of danglers up there that we need to get out of the treetops.
I'm not talking about the tops, I'm talking about the trunks that you need to come out.
I'm worried about the ones that are laying up in the treetops that are ready to
Not
come
me.
down.
See if we can get some of those out.
Shoulder back up to Sindel, to the,
That's what we need.
if it's 7 inches,
Joe, what's
there's
the
gonna
cheap
be a lot.
price if we do the, FB2?
There's gonna be a lot of shoulder back, if you're doing 7 inches of pavement.
Then drop it down to 1 million?
We're under 1 million.
Well, no, I don't think we are, I think we're just gonna vote.
Take 200 off of, $200 off.
Well, yeah, that's why we need 1 million for
No.
our,
Now, whenever we bid these, though, Joe, we will have the option to add more roads to it, with, if we have the money to do it later down the road,
Yeah, that's-
see what happens,
Yeah, that's
like last year.
We'll do it the way we've done it in the past. And what Bill and I talked about is the roads that are like up in the Monaco plan, we'll make that our liquid fuel project because that's pretty cut and dry and straightforward. And then we'll do our contract B like we have in the past, which will be our general fund project, because that way we'll have the ability to add more streets on it if we have money. Because PennDOT's municipal services doesn't like you to change the scope of work of a project after you've bid it. So that's why we bid 2 contracts.
So that you can add.
So our second contract gives us that ability.
My whole point is, nobody knows what how bad this winter is. If a road that's not too bad now might be worse than
That's
what we
right.
expect 3 months
That's
down the
right.
road from now. So if we run into that situation, we want to have the option to be able to add something to it.
A lot of complaints about Hawn Road the past couple of years.
Yeah.
People use that to go to Peters or,
Well, especially in front of the houses. over
It's,
there.
I mean, it-
Well, the area that's being logged, we can't do much about that, but closer to the Peters side, it was really bad. When Bill and I were out there, he moved the 4.5 chunk of road that came up in front of us. We tried to drive over it to settle her back down. He eventually had to just toss it over.
there's craters at his golf cart, he said, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I was out there and I got home for 2 days. That was bad.
I don't think it's bad if we have the option to have more type of road.
bring the bids in low, Joe. That's
That's
your assignment.
I'm rough, but if we change it to the FB and we throw the under drain back into it on King, I'm at $1,063,331.65. So we're right there at 1 million. $1,063,331.65 is the total.
So did that change your King Road total to?
My King Road total was going to be the 275 plus, I think, 70,000 is what I read here.
Okay.
I'll get you something updated for Monday night if you'd like.
No, it's just trying to adjust my answer.
What about the backfill issue? I mentioned in February, Joe, we let them guys go away.
We can, I'll take your suggestion.
3 or 4 weeks.
3 weeks, they have to have the curbs back.
The top, cures out a little bit, get on there with the topsoil and that.
No, it's a good suggestion.
A month sounds like we need a number.
Well, we were up against it last year out
3
there.
weeks.
We were trying to avoid a delay claim, and that's why we let them go. You know what I mean? Because they could have filed a delay claim on us for Maple Street.
Yeah, Maple Street.
Yeah, so we, in an effort to work with the contractor, we told them to go, if they had other work, to go to that and do it. And then when they come back, they can complete their backfilling operation. So that was a negotiated thing that we did with them to avoid a delay claim against
I
us.
just don't think they used good material. It looked like a black compost, real fluffy.
It was more like a mushroom board.
Yeah, I don't think it caught real good.
We'll be up here in the spring to take a look at all of it again. That thing's still under bond. Grass hasn't gone. If it hasn't caught or something, they'll be back.
Send it to, Joe.
Okay.
Anything else?
do, just come down to it.
If we get award bids in the summer, we don't have to wait till fall, either, if something comes up.
No, if you, as you see a need for it, you can do it earlier. Because you have a contractor under the contract.
All right, anything else? There will be no further business, this meeting is declared adjourned.